You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. It is now Sunday at 9 p.m. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up podcast with your boy Have Streams. To my left, he's speaking to K Dizzle DC. Welcome. Heffalump. What it do, my guy?
Man, what's good, K Dizzle? How's everybody feeling this evening?
Everybody is every man. Look, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited. I know
You look wonderful, man. You look rested.
I look rested.
Yeah.
I don't know. This camera giving me like dry vibes. I don't know what it is right now.
You said dry vibes.
Dry vibes. I feel like I don't have the color that I need in my camera. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm gonna figure it out in a minute.
It's all right.
Let me fix this. Yeah.
So what's good, K Dizzle?
Look, my guy. What is new is what ain't new is people crumbling under pressure. So we're gonna get to it in a minute because that the infamous interview has been on the internet, off the internet, on the internet, off the internet. The episode 66 tonight is Yeezy is not your savior, in the words of Kendrick Lamar. Because I am, we are ready to. I'm ready to pass the baton on my guy here, because I don't want to cancel him. I just want him to go sit in the corner for about 3 to 6 months and get his stuff together. But who am I to speak on it? Other than that, man, what's going on with you?
Man, you know, it's going to be a good episode. If you haven't joined us already, please run on over. How you doing, Miss Heflin? Good evening. If you haven't already done so, come on over to YouTube and subscribe, like, share, and comment, and have fun with us. And also check us out on Instagram. We're at the All Dressed Up _ podcast. The Instagram channel's been jumping, K Dizzle. A lot of fun content. A lot of conversations been going back and forth over the past couple of weeks. So keep checking us out there. But you know, and also put the number up, because each and every Sunday night at 9 we're live. And that's the thing about this show. You can come on in. You can hit us up on the number. We'll pull you on in at 301-857-1757. And if you can't do all the above, we're on Spotify and iTunes. What up, K?
Shout out to 410 Beard. I'm putting him on the 1099 starting next week. 1099 for his services, man. He's been doing a great job, man. Shout out to 410 Beard, man. Look, where do you want to start, man? Where do you want to start?
Let's have some fun, man, because I'm out here repping, right? Dip set when it's repping time. When it's repping time, right? So everybody knows. Let me start off by just getting the exhale out. Come on in. Episode 66 has begun. And if you haven't heard, while we were watching football today, AK, this it's so funny, bro. Like it's pure entertainment, and I'm not even gonna ramble, but I know, right? I can't retire the hat because it's pure entertainment. If you haven't found out by now, the Lakers are 0-3. The Lakers are at full strength, man. Whatever you want to call their full strength, they got every roster that they're gonna have available to them. You know, they're not in a position where they're waiting for a player to come back 4-0. Like everybody's here who's gonna be there, and they can't hit the brass out of a barn, man.
Yeah, they've come back to the Wizards, bro.
Your man went 0
for 11 the other
Hold up. I'm wearing the hat. Hold on, K, because you don't have all the
Go ahead. Go
opportunity
ahead.
to get it off, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I can't even say it's nothing. It's not on LeBron. LeBron's not even playing like himself right now. He's caught the crackishness that's been catching everybody wearing a purple and gold because I mean, I don't know what he did. Today he shot a three coming inside the half court line. Didn't touch, it didn't even come close, I think, to the inside circle by the rim. The air ball was so bad. And then you got your boy AD playing soft as baby shit. Oh my God, when he fell the other night, K Dizzle, I couldn't watch. I turned away,
Hey, look, man.
and we
Look.
haven't even talked about Russell Westbrook yet.
No, no. So I don't know. I'm trying to find it right now. I can't find it. But you see your boy Russ get mad at that fan that told him he sucks ass.
Hey man, Russ can't live, man. He's walking in the locker room. The fan says, "Hey Russ, you suck ass."
Oh my gosh.
Let me
So
ask you a question, K. Would you to turn around and walk back like Russ did?
he waited too. He waited like an upset right
First,
outside the door.
first off, if you
You say?
haven't saw the clip, the shit was hilarious because I don't even think the fan knew he was coming back. Cause like what
No.
happened was he's walking in the tunnel, right? And the
Yeah.
fans yelling some shit like saying he sucks ass or some shit. So like you see Russ go through the tunnel like he goes all the way in with security. Then all of a sudden, like a good 7 seconds later, he comes back out and says, "What'd you
Yo.
say? What'd you say?"
Yo, it's so funny. I can't find it right now. I'm so mad. I should have had that queued up.
And then
But it
obviously
was hilarious.
the fan was shook at that point. He was like, we need you, Russ."
He shut up real quick.
But man, this is the only guy I know, future Hall of Famer, former MVP, that can go out. Man, 410 and I, we were talking about it the other day in person. The shit was so crazy, man. He said he played solid. He got interviewed after he went 0 for 11, and all he had was two free throws. And he said he played solid, he played hard. On to the next one with a straight face, bro. And I don't know if that's playing solid. I don't know if you can go 0 for 11 and say you played solid in 2022.
Hey, it's a certain level of being high within a game, right? And then imagining other things happening than what
Being
actually
high or
happens.
being delusional?
Being high in the game. I think he was probably too high thinking he played a solid game going
Oh,
0
like
for 11.
adrenaline.
Like, no. He must have been literally high on some type of controlled substance for him to think he played solid basketball going 0 for 11.
I
0 for
can't
11 on the entire field.
I can't look away. Exactly, for no, I can't look away. Can you
Yo.
find see we kind of limped into tonight's episode because we should have that clip too. The Pat Bev alley oop to Reeves attempt was fucking classic. The boy Pat Bev threw the oop to Reeves like he was
Oh
Billy
my
Ho
god.
from White Men Can't Jump. And then he had the nerve to jump with him like he was celebrating the dunk, and it was no such a thing. Pure
Yo.
entertainment, man. Pure entertainment. If you want to see a team that's gonna have highlights swirling around them each and every night after each and every game, find a purple and gold, man. But you know what? The Wizards might be 3-0. They're in a tough one.
They're in a tough one with Cavs tonight. But here's your boy. Here's your boy. Hold on. Did I mute this site? I hope I didn't. No, I didn't.
Hilarious.
Here it is.
Anderson to Scotto Anderson knocked it away. Beverly, hold on.
Let me walk back upset, bro. I'm not playing that again.
Nah, it's funny as I don't know what, man.
Look how he walked back so upset. Like, I can't believe this happened.
The moral
Let's
of that
figure out life.
story is know your teammates, man.
Know your teammates, man. Don't
Know
do
who
it.
you're
Know
going
your
to battle
teammates.
with, man. But LeBron looks like he's got that I don't know where I'm at face. You know what I'm saying? He needs somebody to come save him very soon because I don't know, bro. But the NFL, tough day. The Eagles were off, so K Diz was happy. The O still there.
The O's still there.
Everything's good. I had a tough fantasy week, man, because I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of my fantasy points come from Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders and those guys. So I saw how deep my team was today.
Oh shoot. Let me tell you. If I pull this dub off this week with Jared Goff scoring 1.56 points.
Mm.
Okay. Let me tell you what I did. Okay. Let me tell you what I did. At the last minute, I remembered I only had one defense. So I dropped Melvin Gordon and picked up Arizona's defense,
Strong.
and he scored 22 points.
Strong.
22 points. That's the only reason why I win this
In
week.
my
But
in my other league,
yeah,
I'm playing
terrible.
against the Cowboys defense, and they torched the
Yeah, they
Detroit
torched.
Lions today, man. So one of the
The Lions beat themselves. If you go back and look at that game, they had third and goal or second and goal. They fumbled the ball on. So you have stuff like that happen. It's hard to come back from, especially against that defense. So
yeah,
I honestly think the Lions beat themselves
and then the
in
Commanders,
that
man. Who
matchup.
would have thought? I'm picking the Packers today. Like me and my girl, we do a pool where we pick like the games for each and every week at the job, and I took the Packers. I'm trying to be a
Oof.
realist, man. And Taylor Heineke comes out and does what he does somehow, some way, and something there's some trouble in Green Bay, man. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna get into it right now. But that ayahuasca that Aaron Rodgers was smoking definitely ain't getting it done.
Yeah, they having troubles out there. Green Belt's in shambles. Green Bay's in shambles. Green Bay is in shambles.
Well, Green
They don't
Belt's
know who they
always in
are.
shambles, bro, but
Green
that's a
Belt's
different
always in
story.
shambles, but Green Bay is in absolute shambles. They don't know what to do. Um, Aaron looked like he want to retire right now. Tom Brady probably looked like he want to retire right
Talk
now.
about that, man.
Um,
Who's
no,
who's gonna
it's
be
nothing to talk
thirstier?
about.
Who's gonna be thirstier Thursday night? Uh the shorties down the block or Tom Brady pulling up in Baltimore looking for a W because they play the
They're all gonna
Ravens.
be
They
super
play the
thirsty.
Ravens Thursday night in Baltimore, and Tom Brady
Hmm.
needs a win so bad.
He needs to win. Yeah, he needs to win so bad before he can retire like mid-season and be
Bro.
fine with it.
And the defense
He
stopped
can
the,
do it
the,
in
the, the
mid-season.
defense stopped defensing.
Look, I think I think this is a wild season that nobody predicted. Even though CMC went to the 49ers,
Mhm.
the Chiefs showed everybody that they are still a way to easily beat the 49ers. Everybody was hyping it up. I think it's a great acquisition. I do think they mortgaged the house, but they still have a lot of holes, even though they got everybody healthy. Just about, they have a lot of holes with that team, especially Jimmy G, because they put pressure on that guy. He folds like a cheap paper plate, and that's just what it's always been. That's why they try to go to Trey Lance. So,
Well, they got two
uh,
problems, okay? They can't stop Kansas City and they can't score with Kansas City. So, when you got one team that just has your number, nine times
mhm,
out of 10, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. But hey, man, with that being said, we're going to roll from sports. I want to ask you a question.
sure.
How much is too much child support? Or
Mm.
how much is not enough child support? And how do they come up with the regulations for how you divide the child support payments? And if anybody in the chat knows the rules, let me know. Because I don't know when like there's a fair amount of child support being paid, but I brought this up because of what you and I were talking about. And I don't care. I think it's funny as shit, man. Just to see the people involved. Because 50 Cent's always a fool. And then you got him and his son Marquise going back and forth publicly. And apparently the child support is just not enough.
So let's really break down this story.
He saw
It's really
stars. He
well.
saw all the seasons of Stars and Power Jump, and he wants some more ends.
It wasn't him. It was his. It was his baby moms. So before he was 18, um, 50 was paying them $500,000 a year.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
$500,000 a year in child support. She came out and said to him it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. You know what he did?
That's crazy.
My man's went to court himself, like all men should do. Before anything goes down, my man went to court, and the judge ordered it to be $6,700 a month. $6,700 a month. Now,
I feel so.
child
I
support, I
feel
think,
so bad for that young man. $6,700 a month. He can't win.
the biggest fumble in history. No, he's 25 years old, $6,700 a month. He's saying, like you said, it is tax free, 100%. The mere fact that you come on social media saying that you are unable to live off $6,700 a month is merely just showing how out of touch you are with society and how really people live out here. And I can concur with 50 Cent saying, look, he is entitled. He has no idea because 50 came from nothing. And the only reason he has his son, Tariq, has all that he has is because of 50 Cent and his success and his grind and his hustle. So, does he know what it means to work for anything? Absolutely not. Does he know what it means, to live a a modest lifestyle? Absolutely not, because he hasn't been taught that. When he was a kid, his mom's getting paid 500 grand a year, and so she didn't live a modest lifestyle, even though she should have, because sooner or later money's going to run out. Doesn't matter who your baby daddy is, money's going to run out. It's going to run short. Something's going to happen. You're going to get cut off. That kid's going to become adult, and she ain't gonna get no more child support. She ain't gonna get no alimony or no spousal support because they ain't there. He now looks like an idiot online, and everybody's punching him in the mouth. Poor little Tariq can't live off $70,000 a year when an average income in America is like 45,000.
The boy's 25 years old, first and foremost. I don't know how long he's going to be getting support, but that's a lot of support. And if you can't maintain your lifestyle, whatever that lifestyle is, he needs to change it. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. And I gotta say, like, I can't say that, like, even if 50 Cent was a shitty dad, that's
Mhm.
still more than enough support for any American, citizen to be able to survive and to be able to get a start on life. Like, if he can't afford the high ass rent in New York City, he got to move.
He's got to adjust. He's got to adjust to the money that he's getting. Otherwise, if you don't want to adjust to the money that you're getting, because keep this in mind too, because we're looking at it from a certain specific standpoint. People are going to look at it from their own wallets, right? This kid has been growing up, and his parents, his mom has always had $500,000 a year, so he's used to a specific or a
He
particular
got that. He
certain
got
level of
that
life.
rug pulled from up underneath him.
He's used to a certain level of entitlement. So as soon as the rug was pulled, the money isn't as free flowing as you're used to, meaning you have to adjust to your lifestyle and accept things that are within a budget that you set for yourself.
Mm.
He's never had to do that. You got to figure out if you want to continue that lifestyle and stop allowing it to be given to you. Like 50 has tried many times, which he said himself, figure out how to make your own money. Find out how to make your own money.
Man, 50,
So
come on, man. Put some more money on your boy's VC. Put some more money
I
on
would
your
put shit
boy's
on.
VC so
Look.
he can get his 2K stats up. But I mean, I was watching it. I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought this shit was hilarious because it takes a lot of audacity to sit there and try to get some type of, I guess, people to feel sorry for you because, hey, man, my dad's 50 Cent and he's only giving me $6,700 a month or whatever, and he's this and that. Like, that's that entitlement. Like, I get it. Like, it's always good, like we always say, to set up our generations, and that generational wealth thing is the new term that everybody's talking about. But you got to still have some type of personal talent. You got to bring something to the table or some type of self worth, or you just can't sit back and complain because you ain't getting 500 grand a year.
That's not the child support is not a revenue stream that you created. It's something that was given to you. So now you got to create a whole new revenue stream. Do something for yourself. Period, my guy. I mean, you out here looking dumb as a box of rocks out here. And unfortunately, the internet is forever. And so you'll be getting memes on that forever, forever, ever, my guy. So it's almost as bad as Diddy Combs. I mean King Combs. Almost as bad as King Combs, bro. I just finally heard. I don't mean to switch, topics, but I just finally heard. Have you heard King Combs single with Kodak Black?
No.
Okay, I'm glad you haven't. Okay, that just shows he's doing shows on this single, bro.
Okay.
And it's a mix of it's like 3 or 4 different old school songs mapped
They keep
together
trying
with
to
like
give him the
with a
classics.
yeah, with little Kim harmony sprinkled on the backside. It's so retarded. It sounds so trashy. I shouldn't say that, but I am because it's terrible. To me, it sounds terrible. And this kid is he doing tours on it, and Diddy's just like, all right, have your
I
way.
mean, you
Well,
can't be mad at him
I'm
using
not mad.
his resources, man. Obviously, he probably wants to be a star. He's got his dad right there. He's got the access to the shit. I mean, I don't see it, but I'm not going to hate on Diddy Jr. or King Combs or whatever it is. I know one thing. I've been seeing a lot of Mary J. Blige dancer rating. I saw her on stage again. I don't know where it was, not to change your topic, but
No.
Puffy showed up and they was doing the Watusi, the Ooh
Ooh.
Wop, and the heel toe.
Yeah, did it. Yeah, he was out there doing the two step in the worst way. They were looking really aged out there, man.
A410 said he needs
Like
another career.
he does need another career. He's looking on the he's getting into that upper echelon. We're gonna start saying his name just as much as we say Dionne Warwick.
Oh man.
Hey, what's up, Day Day? What's going on? But did it? Yeah, he need to stay off stage. Go do your corporate life thing, bro. Just stay out of that. Stay
Him
out
and
of
his son. His son needs to let it go too. But I'm sure his son's getting more than $6,700 a month
Oh, he's
because
getting more than sixty seven
he's
hundred.
out there trying. He's out there working
Mm-hmm.
his shoulders, doing the Diddy bop. So shout out to King Combs, man. I appreciate and respect your grind. You ain't sitting back waiting for no check.
All right, shout out to your boy,
All
man.
right.
Hey, which go ahead, go ahead, go
So
right
look,
ahead.
man. So this is what I want to talk about because it's just been something that I think we have to talk about it because we're in the media space. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing this word thrown around a lot lately, and the word that I'm gonna say is platform. Um,
Okay.
Everybody now has this proverbial platform.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, if it's big or small, if it's like us, if we got three people in a chat on a Sunday, or if it's, Charlemagne, everybody
Mm-hmm.
has this platform now. And it's almost like what you choose to do with your platform represents you, or you have to stand behind everything that you have, as far as, what you present in the media. And not to ramble, but everybody's talking about obviously Kanye West. Hate him or love him, if you get tired of hearing about it or not, people are still talking about it. And I'm not going to get in
Mm-hmm.
too deep on what he was saying in the last couple of interviews or what he's been, how he's been turning heads or whatnot. My whole thing is about the Nori situation. Like Nori has the Drink Champs podcast. It's the biggest podcast in
Yeah.
the world. Kanye is getting canceled and people are pulling him from media platforms because of his anti-Semitic remarks that he's made over the past couple of weeks, on top of other political things that he said that's thrown people off. So my biggest thing is Nori has him on the episode,
Mm-hmm.
right? And obviously they're the biggest podcast in the world. The premise of the podcast is people come on, they talk about, the history of how they've gotten to where they become. The theme is they try to give people their flowers while they're here, while they can, and they have fun over conversation with a lot of alcohol and weed smoking. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people have said, first and foremost, that Nori probably shouldn't have had Kanye West on his podcast. That's the
Mm-hmm.
first thing. The second thing is, as the interview went on, a lot of people are talking about how Nori should have checked Kanye West on some of the things he said or provided pushback on a lot of the things that Kanye said during the interview. That's the
Mm-hmm.
second part because the whole flip side to that portion of it is Kanye came in off the strength of I walk out. If anything doesn't go my way, essentially I roll the fuck out.
Right.
And then third, lastly, it should have been pulled because the
Mm-hmm.
interview was completed. It actually did come on the air on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people had the chance to download it before it was taken down and re-uploaded it
Right.
so they can get tons of views and subscribers. So a lot of people saw the interview after the fact, not even on Revolt. So let's dive into it, man. Let's talk about it. If anybody has any opinions or comments, come on through in the chat, text us, let us know. But let's talk about the first part, K Dizzle. Let's say about just taking right now the controversial interview. Like, how do you
Mhm.
feel about providing a platform to a person like Kanye or anybody of a person that can be offensive? Coming in the gate, if you know of this person's history and this person's reputation, would you personally interview them, or would you have second thoughts based on that?
No, I had an interview.
Okay.
I had an interview just off the strength of, one, it's exposure, and two, if you have that man on your platform, it just takes your platform to an entirely different, entirely next level. Now, what the reason why I would do it too is, I don't know. Have you seen the interview? Have you watched the entire
I
thing?
didn't see the entire Drink Champs interview. I saw portions of it. I did see a large portion of the Piers Morgan interview.
Okay. I started watching the Drink Champs podcast, and the podcast, and I can only get through about 48 minutes of a 3 hour podcast with Kanye West. And what the road bumps that I continue to keep hitting was because his thought patterns and the things and the views he wanted to express were so scatterbrained. We kept jumping from A to Y to W to M to Q, and it kept going back and forth, that it's hard for you to actually not only just take him serious, but listen to what he's trying to say with genuine intent, because I'm unable to follow it. And it sounds like, to me, it sounds like gibberish. It sounds like, it does sound like, if you sit down and listen to it, it sounds like the hobo on the street that's trying to tell you everything about life in the 5 minutes that he has your attention, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be, with a guy like Kanye West, and you have to kind of, you have to you have to figure out how to, um, how to gain control of the interview. Because if you see most of the interviews that he's ever went on, he's never listening to the people that he's on the show with. He's always over talking, or he's always following through his entire conversation without listening to the other side of what's going on, because he doesn't want to listen. If you go watch any and all of his interviews, he's never really listening to the person that he's talking to. He's only pushing his point of view, and that's the only thing that means or matters anything to him. So how do you interview a guy like that? You really don't. You only give him a platform to spew more out information that he wants to spew out, and whatever truths he feel he has to expose, um, to the larger group of people who don't know, like us. So I think there's a lot of truth in the things that he's saying. Unfortunately, because the way that he's trying to give the message, that it's not coming across, to where people can receive it in the most positive way.
Let me let
Either you're
me
going to get, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, let me interject right there because you made really good points. And the one thing I wanted to say before I forget is, when you give a person like him that platform and that space to talk, and like you said, spew all that bullshit, it's hard to, one, take control. You
Hmm.
know, you really won't get I guess a genuine Kanye interview or conversation if you control it, because he's not going to participate. like you said,
Correct. Correct.
like you said, bro, like, he won't listen. You know what I'm saying? So if
Right.
you take control of the interview, it's gonna be the Marcus show. It's
Uh-huh.
gonna be the K Dizzle show. It's not gonna be Kanye at that point. And then if you give him the free flowing platform, he becomes uneditable,
Right.
because, like you
Right.
said, he's so sporadic with his thought process and the way he talks. If you edited down the conversation, it would be so out of context. You would just see
Hmm.
it all over the place. It would be like soundbite after soundbite after soundbite.
Yep.
So you almost got to sit down with the guy and hit him with 21 questions and hope he
Well,
answers as many of them as you possibly can get him to, or he's just going to take the interview and do what he did.
yeah. The only way you can have an interview with Kanye West is to put him with someone with whom he respects. he respects to a certain degree where he's going to allow that person to have a conversation or talk or ask questions in which he'll respond. He has to respond and doesn't pull back or push back or redirect it to another place. Somebody like Jay-Z has to be the one to sit down and have that conversation with him. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I don't think there's anyone else that he would sit down and really just listen, be quiet, and pay attention and hear that other person
It
out.
depends on what you want, though, bro. Like if you put him on a podcast called The Drink Champs, and you
Mm-hmm.
get him drunk, and you get him talking about shit that he's passionate about, and you don't check him, that's what you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get. That's what
Yeah.
you're gonna get. And Nori comes out and he apologizes for it.
Why?
Other big other big podcasters, to answer your question, in my opinion, it's because of the pushback. Everybody's afraid of, because Kanye's spreading this vitriol, are you going to be tied to it because you provided a platform? And
Mm-hmm.
that's another question too. Like, if I provide the platform, am I responsible for his thoughts and actions? Because in most interviews, people always used to preface it with that caption, "I'm not responsible
Mm-hmm.
for,"
Yeah.
you
The
know,
views and opinions are,
yeah.
for the views
And
and
that's the
opinions of
thing.
yeah.
So if I give him the opportunity to express himself and I disagree, am I now tied to the fact that, oh, I should cancel this because I disagree? Like, you have to
Mm-hmm.
have some type of thought process in the back of your mind that, like, this is probably not going to go well. So
Oh yeah.
when you open the door to that, I think these professionals know better.
Mm-hmm.
they
Without a
know
doubt.
they know they know very well what they're doing, and it's not just
Mm-hmm.
Nori and DJ EFN and Kanye sitting in that room. There's about 30,
Right.
40 people in that room, with all that
Right.
alcohol, and they know what they're getting into. And my biggest thing is, what pisses
So
me off is, you know, Puffy pulls it because obviously Kanye's talking big shit about Puff and his
mm-hmm.
own revolt. So he pulls it. Nori comes out and apologizes to save face. He looks stupid as shit, in
Right.
my opinion. And I'll let you talk about that. He's saving face for Puffy and for Revolt. And then all this does is it shoots Kanye over to the next person who'll interview him. And
Yep.
then you'll have a person like Joe Budden posture because it's a 4 or 5 media head race on who's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And now they can sit there and kick Nori and the Drink Champs and Revolt while they're down because they
Right.
took the show. But then you got Piers Morgan with his uncensored show, and he's got Kanye up there for 2 hours having a full interview, to the point to where at the end it pissed me off because I looked at my girl Shanae and I said, "See, that's what I didn't want to see." As
Mm.
crazy as Kanye is, towards the end of the interview, he's sitting there kissing Piers Morgan's ass, talking about, help me, get the contracts in the music industry straight. Help me, Piers, when it comes to all this bad business, and, can you get your people to help me? And I'm just sitting there looking at this like, bro, you're sitting here asking for Piers Morgan's help. And then you just told him 10 minutes ago he wasn't shit because you had more money than him. Like, that's the problem for me. It's like, one minute he can say something that honestly makes sense, like, oh, well, the Jews own everything. Very true.
Mhm.
Jewish people own a lot. And then he goes and he says, "Help me, Piers Morgan, get." It's crazy, and it's funny how now all of a sudden they'll give him that platform to make a fool of himself, but Nori's out there apologizing.
Yeah, it's only two ways when you hear Kanye. You only got two different types. Either you got the hoteps that are just living and dying off of his words now, just taking it to the next level, or you got the people that just think he's just lost it, and the people in between are like, I'm tired. I'm tired of this guy just getting on and just rambling because I honestly went in to watch that Drink Champs to really try to listen with intent to understand what this guy was saying. And I couldn't get through 46 minutes of the interview with Drink Champs, man. It was just that bad. It was to the point where, because one, we're talking about how Jews own everything.
Mhm,
Two, we're talking about how Black people get into bad contracts.
mhm.
Three, we're talking about Kim Kardashian's wife. And we're talking about that all in the span of 46 minutes, and I still got 2.5, almost over 2.5 hours to go. And And then we're going into another one. I'm like, bro, I can't. I don't have enough mental space to absorb all of this. It's like really trying to sit. It's like trying to sit a white person down and making them learn 400 years of slavery in 3 hours. They can't. They're not physically capable of absorbing all that information. They're gonna lose their minds on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where you say, okay, slow down, slow down, slow down, piecemeal it one by one so that we understand. Give me all of it right here, and then tell me what the solution is at that point. The other part is he's not offering solutions. He's only telling you what's wrong. He's only pointing at the things that the inequity that he sees, but he's not giving any solutions outside of it. Outside of he's got the platform and the money, and he can speak these things.
On the outside
So,
looking in, K, with me just imagining, because I'm nowhere near that level of celebrity and rich, but it's scary to think what he's probably experiencing, because
hmm
he's just quote unquote genius, right? He's got all
hmm
this success and fame, 20 years in the music industry, ties with all these real big, high fashion brands and iconic brands and things of that nature. And I know he's seen some shit. Like, I
hmm
know he's seen some shit and he's experienced some things that he could actually share to us that could be very valuable,
right,
because he's been in those rooms that we're not in. He's talked to those people who have those positions that we
hmm
don't have, and it's his delivery.
yeah,
You can't get to that level and just all of a sudden put your middle finger up at everybody and say you can't tell me nothing. Like he made that song, "Wait
hmm
till I get my money right,"
yeah.
and now and that's basically how he's carrying it.
That's how he's carrying it. Basically, how he's carrying it. No truer words than the honorary Biggie Smalls in his one of his one of his greatest songs to date. Was it his songs? Probably Diddy and Mace's. More money, more problems.
Yeah.
And he's just exposing the problems that he sees with the more money that comes. He is a part of the problem he is talking about. I concur 110%. He's trying to expose it from the inside, but yet he's a part of the same issue.
And all you
Um,
ever hear him all you ever hear him say is how he wants somebody to help him. He's always
help
he's
him do what?
always getting to a position to ask a person of some type of importance to him for help.
Help him do what?
I don't know.
There's nothing. You sharing the information is one thing. Just once you share the information, just share it. You trying to change how people operate just because you're talking about it. Or you just continue to share the information, and then the more people that hear the information, the better that people will act on it, and then make better decisions from there. We can see that in music as it is today. Nobody is going to a label, okay, in music. Nobody's going to a label unless they have a certain amount of followers and they have a certain package together where they can go and get distribution and distribution only. That's what they're taking. They're taking their entire package. They're building themselves up and then going to negotiate their contract with the labels now so they can get their money up front.
Right.
So the information has been shared. It's constantly being shared. And we just gotta, as long as it's continuing to be shared, people can make the better decisions, the right decisions on how to move forward within those systems. Within those systems. So look, yeah, I need you to I need you to sit down and make a PowerPoint presentation
Slow down.
about all the stuff that you want to make all the stuff you want to tell people about with bulletin points. Okay. Put it on YouTube as a presentation. Okay. Get in front of a whiteboard with a stick and then do it that way. If you want to get your word out, just do it that way. You want to talk about all those certain different things. You want to talk, if people want to consider your stuff anti-Semitic, Semitic, then say it in a way that they don't consider it anti-Semitic. Okay. We know a lot of the stuff that you're speaking is a truthful message. It is because of your delivery is why it's falling on a lot of deaf ears. Self-Destruction 101, the Yay edition. That might be the name of his newest album. I saw some crap about Watch the Throne too, but I don't believe it. These rappers are going to still, a lot of them are still going to sign BS deals because they're going to take advantage of them. But those are the people who don't have their business together. There's always going to happen. And it's still happening to this day. but there are a lot more that aren't getting shafted than there are that are getting shafted. There's still plenty of people that are on the shelf at a bunch of labels that have 2 or 3 years waiting for their contract to expire. I'm telling you right now, there's people that were signed up for 6-7 year deals that ain't do nothing but write hits for everybody else that are coming out. Money Long is one of them. I don't know how her deal started. Hopefully she went in 100% as just a writer and didn't get hit with one of them dumb deals. But look, just keep sharing the information. Keep sharing the information, but do it the right way. Fix your delivery, and then maybe you can help a lot more people than what you're doing right now.
Or
And it'll help yourself.
maybe come to the table with a solution. Stop always talking about all the problems that you're facing when you're in these rooms and these boardrooms trying to get all this money from these Europeans and come up with some solutions, man. Start your own, like he did Donda. I think that's a great step. The Donda school that he's working on, like that's something
Hmm.
good for him. Like stay in that direction. But wanted to talk about it because we're in this space where we have a platform, and I would interview Kanye.
Hmm.
And if I had the opportunity, I would give Kanye pushback if I disagreed. If I interviewed anybody and I disagreed with them and I had an opinion on something, I wouldn't be afraid to state my opinion if they said they would walk out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's easy for me to say that now because I'm just sitting here talking to you, but I can't imagine myself watching how I talk or walking on eggshells because a person's going to end the interview.
no, a lie is a lie. What the lie is a lie. You got to call it. You got to call it out where it is. Shout out to Gilly the Kid, by the way. Getting that deal. It's $100 million deal. Nori's trying to hold on to that income. 110%.
Can't reel it back now.
110%. But at the same time, Nori, you got a responsibility. You got a responsibility to, if you're going to do that video, you got to take all your feelings aside, and you gotta call out a lie when a lie is a lie. Or you gotta say, hey, we're not gonna talk about that right now, or we're not gonna get into that part of it right now. If you think that it's outside the realm of what you should be talking, you know. So it's the same way. It's the same reason why people used to put Trump on stage or used to interview Trump, because yeah, one, you don't. Most people didn't want to give him a platform because he was talking about trash. Secondly, you got to talk to him because people want to know what he's going to say. He was geeking for that
So
interview, 110%.
answer this question, Arizona, since now you joining us. Will they regret pulling the interview? Now that everybody else has played it, will Nori regret pulling the interview and apologizing for Puffy? I think
I don't
that's a
think it
bad
was
look.
his.
I think it's a bad look, man.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was his choice.
So you don't see, I don't, it might not have been his choice either, but you don't see any pushback from him having to sit there and make that apology.
It's always going to be pushed back from making an apology. I think the biggest thing was, um, they did so much promo for this interview coming
It
out.
was part three.
We did this, we did that. We got to hold off on it. They did the same thing with the Dave Chappelle one, and they're still doing that with Dave Chappelle one. I think they probably had a great interview, but based on the timing and some of the things they were talking about, I think they felt that it was too insensitive at the time.
But Joe Budden made a good point, and he said that when he's had his exclusive interviews, he has a process to where it gets viewed by multiple levels of people, and
Yeah.
including lawyers, the label, you know what I'm saying, the owners, because you can sit there and play the interview and find different moments and be like, up, clip that, watch that, you know what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
like you said, they kind of rushed it. I don't know if there'll be any residual blowback for that with the Drink Champs podcast because you kind of lose your credibility. And I don't know if they could have still had an episode without the alcohol involved at all. Like, do you think they should have had the first sober episode?
No, don't change your format just because of one person. You should never do that. You should just keep doing what you're doing, and what comes of it, because that's the thing that's kept you successful from there. The biggest part is just putting all the hype around it, uh, putting it on and off, and just doing that way, and then pulling it. Just put it out there. If you're gonna do it, just pull it out there. Don't stress over what's being done or how it's done. It is what it is. Everybody's looking forward. Just do it. Just do it. So, look, um, Kanye ain't going nowhere. Talking publicly and drinking is kind of a bad idea, which is exactly why they do the show the way that they do
We're
it.
gonna change our podcast name to Talking Publicly and Drinking. That's the new podcast title. I love it, Arizona. Talking Publicly and Drinking.
Talking publicly and drinking. T-Pad.
So I saw
Yeah.
something that I thought was interesting, right?
What's that?
Switching gears a little bit. No, he won't. They don't care.
Exactly.
Drake and 21 are coming together and doing a joint album of all people. 21 Savage on the low has been on the charts a lot. And he always puts out a song where he's always teetering in the top 10 or top 20. He did go platinum with a couple of his tracks. He's waiting to a point to where now he's doing an album with Drake. What you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know about Drake.
Drake and 21 Savage. I saw it and I was like, uh-oh. I was talking to my girl again. I said, here he goes, jumping on somebody else to suck the life out of their career.
Yeah.
Give him another year or two.
Another year or two. I don't.
He's turning into that guy. He said, Arizona say 2 suckers on 1 CD. He's turning into that.
I ain't going that far.
He's turning into it like Frogger. Like he's just jumping on the next sleep pad to get to the next point in his career. And he's trying to stay fresh. And I guess that's the way he's gonna make his CD more street. Just put 21 Savage on
it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I just, I think Drake is.
That's a funny ass answer.
At the end of his road. I think he's at the end of his road.
Nah, you're just old, K Dizzle. We're just old.
Is it because I'm just old? Or is it because he's getting older?
You thought Yeezy was at the end of his rope and he just came out with a Gangsta Grills.
Yeezy is at the end of his rope, bro.
You didn't listen to the new Gangsta Grills?
No, I ain't listening to the new Gangsta Grills.
DJ Drama featuring Jeezy, Snowfall.
No.
Gangsta Grills.
Snowfall, no.
Mm-mm. Man, when I played the album, because it's not even like a mixtape like it used to be. When I streamed the album, it felt like 2007 again. It felt like 2008. He was talking that shit, but he was talking about how he's a businessman. He don't need the street cred to buy what he needs to buy. He ain't been out here. He ain't been out here posting for people like me and you, Kermit, for us to see all that he's been doing. He's out here doing business. I don't care about that. You know?
No, he's talking about posting for the young kids. We don't care about that. We, us adults, who grew up on Jeezy, but Snowfall's probably fire. I have not taken the opportunity to chance. The same way I haven't watched Dom. You got to be in a certain headspace to listen to that music. You got to literally be in a certain mindset of headspace. No one is thinking about the EPs being pulled, the episodes being pulled. Next one's to drop Shaq and Migos out. Look, yes, I think they're a little bit longer than two. These folks. I think Drake getting on with 21 Savage does not help 21 Savage. I think it helps Drake more than it helps 21 Savage.
Good point.
Than anything else.
Good point. I feel the same way.
So
I feel the same damn
because
way.
How did Drake's last album do?
His best song had 21 Savage on it.
I mean, he going back to the well like hard. He don't need the money, so I don't know why he doing it.
And another thing too, man, they need to stop talking so much, man. All this craziness are causing these artists to talk too much. Now Kanye's talking about Drake's the best rapper of all time. He's talking about Drake wrote 30 hours. Like, I don't want to hear all the undercover shit.
Thank you, 410. Until Drake drops a full rap album, I don't want to hear
He's never dropped a full rap album. What are y'all talking about?
That is true.
He's never dropped a full rap album. He's never been a rapper.
Now that I think about that, he's never dropped a whole rap album.
Drake has bamboozled us for years. He really says cool things. Like, I know a lot of Drake stands, right? Not to go off on a tangent, K Dizzle.
The great light skinned caper is what it is.
Bruh, he says these quotes that they love and they take and they'll be like tweeting to all the friends in the group chat, like, did you hear what Drake said? And then like if I give like the side eye, then people start talking shit to me like, I thought you like it because you light skinned. And I don't have to love everything Drake says, you know?
Hey, they heard Poppy outside. It's getting
It's
real
getting real
oppy
oppy
outside.
outside. Let's come up with the
Somebody
top.
go
Let's
sit
come up
that
with
man down.
the worst Drake punchlines of all time. Let's do that. That'll be a fun episode.
Oh my gosh.
Then we'll really get charged
I
to be
gotta stop.
haters.
Yeah, I gotta stop.
My man,
And all of the
my man said it's
all of
getting
the
real oppy outside.
allegations, all the allegations of him stealing everybody else's lines are true and factual. So I mean it's just artistic incorporation of individuals elect intellectual property. It's just what my man does.
That industry
plant, my guy does, bro.
That industry plant has been watered and has grown into an industry garden.
Light skin caper of the decades.
You didn't think
of the past 2 decades.
You didn't think he'd be able to put up a catalog against the Jay-Z and against the Lil Wayne when he first came out.
How dare Kanye West say he's the greatest rapper of all time? That's when he lost me. I think that was the 46-minute mark. Stop watching.
It's bad. It's bad for the rap game to make comments like that.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out cold on that. So, one of the things you talked about last week that we have to do, Sean, was whose music did not
age well.
You say did not age well? Whose music didn't age well? Oh, so I'm going through her phone and she go to the bathroom and her purse right there. I don't trust these hoes at all. That is a Drake bar. That is a light skin bar too. Oh my God.
They expect me to love it, man. I gotta be an ambassador.
That's one of the most light skin bars I've ever heard in my life. You only know that he raps on features. You're right.
I'll tell you one thing. The last time he rapped was in that song with Jack Harlow. In hindsight, I think he really tried to out rap Jack Harlow on that track.
What Jack Harlow?
The song on his album, Churchill Downs. Jack Harlow's album. Drake rapped for about a good 2.5 minutes on that, and I haven't seen or heard from Jack Harlow since. Again,
Jack Harlow has got out of the streets because he's getting paid off of Glamorous right now. He ain't got to do nothing else.
He was in a 2K commercial.
Exactly. It's not. He don't got to do nothing else right now. He just live off the Glamorous album, the Fergie reference, which I wasn't a super fan of. But hey,
one thing we can't allow people to do, the same way we gotta let these kids live, we can't let these kids shit on the older artists, man.
No,
gotta be in some way, shape, or form protecting, our music we came up on, even though a lot of that shit didn't age well. Like we said, Ludacris, that shit did not age well.
Stop.
Don't come over here playing no Ludacris. If I see you pull up in my neighborhood playing Move Bitch Get Out the Way, I'm gonna ask you a question when you park the car. How you feeling today, K Dizzle?
No, man. No. See, you're gonna make me find some decent Ludacris tracks, but we ain't gonna go there right now. We're gonna go there right now. We're just gonna let you have your say on that. Okay. Who else didn't age well?
Let's talk about it.
Who else didn't age well? Rap. Who you got? I know for sure. He's like a one-hit wonder, so I don't, he don't count. Young Jock.
Man, Young Jock has some hits, man. I got a question for you.
Name them other than It's Going Down.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I know you see it. I know you see it.
It's not. I
know you see it. Eeny, meeny, miny.
You only know that because of Payola, because they kept playing it on the radio. That's it. All right, Chingy, of course. Chingy did not.
The way they do that right there.
Anybody from St. Louis?
Damn.
Hey,
I hope ain't
hey,
nobody watching from St. Louis. Where the
hey.
gunplay rain all
All right.
day.
He's doing major things in the industry now, but he did not age well at all because he only had a one hit
Rap
wonder.
music did
That would
not
be
age
your boy.
well from St. Louis.
That would be your boy Young Berg.
Well, he
Shout out
produces
to Young
hits now.
Berg, aka Hitmaker now.
Yeah.
Young Berg. He had one song and that was "Sexy Lady."
I'm telling
Um,
you, man, the worst as far as aging and where they're gonna be looked back at in hip hop is Eminem, bro. It's the worst. Like
wow.
nobody's gonna feel the Eminem wave unless you live through it.
Unless you live through it, 100%. That's
Anybody
why
looking back at Eminem is gonna clown us for being big Eminem fans because nobody's gonna be riding on lyrics like we always used to.
yeah.
And
Um,
he had no radio playing hits.
and he's on. Yeah, he did. He did have some radio hits.
Nothing that would have been
Um,
replayable for the kids today.
no, there's nothing. There's nothing in his. Unless he did a song with Dre that was really good. There's nothing replayable in his entire arsenal.
Nothing, bro.
Unfortunately,
Nothing.
unfortunately, that's why he gets clowned the way he does. Mystical rape lyrics. Anybody from No Limit, they all aged hard.
Mystical lost his mind.
Um, one person that I can say without a doubt is always forever be timeless. Okay, is Scarface.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why
Scarface.
you bringing up Scarface in this?
I'm sorry, he just came to mind. I thought about all of his hits all at one time. Just
Legend, bro.
flooded my cerebral right there.
I would give you a strong 10 Scarface list.
Oh, without a doubt.
But what about Chameleonaire coming out? I don't know where this video came from, but it's been going around IG talking about the music business and how he hired auditors to look through his deal. And the auditors
He's a smart guy.
found $600,000 allegedly of lost money.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went to the label, they squared him up and they basically dropped him, or they wanted
Because
to
of that.
drop him because of it. And they said, or I think he had said to them he wanted to be let go, or he would tell everybody on the label how to do the same thing.
That sounds about right.
They let him out his deal.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm gonna give you one. Hold on. I'm gonna give you one that had a very short highlight, very short limelight, but it's still timeless. You ready?
So we talking about Thomas music now?
No, I'm that did age well. That did age well.
Okay.
Very short time, very short spotlight.
Music that
Paul Wall.
aged like fine
Paul
wine.
Wall.
Paul Wall, man, is a very underrated rapper. One of the best white rappers of all time on a short list. And he spits. And he just was on a track with Toby and Igwe last year.
You could still pull up a Paul Wall song and play it and be all right. Even Grills.
The disco ball in his mouth insinuate he's balling. He's sitting sideways. I'm telling you, man, play a Paul Wall song. It's nostalgic. It'll make you like.
Yeah. All right. So we look, that's gonna be we gotta do next week. That's what next week's gonna be. Bubba Sparks didn't age well at all. No.
Bubba Sparks didn't.
No.
Bubba Sparks aged bad out the gate.
Out the gate. He's on the same level as Magoo. Okay.
This fool
Bubba
had
Sparks
a song.
and Magoo, same thing.
His hook was booty, 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 rocking everywhere. You booty, 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 rocking everywhere. That shit's terrible, bro.
Yeah. No. But look, Paul Wall is a cool Bubba.
Nah, man, he's way ahead of Bubba Sparks, bro.
Hey, tell him where to find us.
Find us.
Because Arizona Raw.
Find us on YouTube each and every Sunday night at 9 o'clock at the ADU podcast. And definitely check us out on Instagram at the all dressed up _ podcast. The page is jumping. Shoot us some thoughts and ideas, comment, have fun with us. And check us out on Spotify and iTunes if your ass was too lazy and you couldn't get with us live on Sunday night at 9.
My man went out of pocket right there. All the links are right there. Just check out Insta bio right there. Hef. We love y'all. We love y'all. See, we got more coming for you. We're gonna put up some more vids, cuts. I've been going to school, going to do my master classes, getting ready. So you'll see a lot more information from us, man. What's the parting words we can get to people today?
Young Jock's a legend, man. Have streams, K Dizzle DC. We'll holler at you next week.
And you know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all